We got to go way up.
Fire 716 Radio, playing the best in urban and inspirational music.
Hey, everybody, this is DMP Speaks coming at you, and you are locked into Fire 716 Radio. Guys, I need you to do me a favor. Follow me on all my social media platforms. That's Facebook, that's YouTube, that's Instagram, and that's TikTok at DMP Speaks. Now, let's get into this conversation today. Let's go.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm back. I'm back in the building. I am back at Fire 716 radio station. I call it Studio 2 because we're in the new place. This is I think my second time, Frank, being here. I'm excited. You guys have no idea. I'm excited to be back. I had to take a little time off for some self-care and some more self-care, and I had to be able to spend some time with my family. I feel re-energized. I feel resurgent. I am just excited about being with you all this afternoon. So welcome to Speak Out Loud radio station, again on Fire 716 Radio. I need you guys to do me a favor before we get into today's topic. I need you guys to please download the Fire 716 app on Android and your Apple Store. You don't want to miss the other great shows, the events that this radio station and this studio is doing. As they say, they're taking over for the 99 to 2000, but we're taking over for the 2023 because we're doing some amazing things, and I'm just glad to be a part. So let's jump into today's session today, today's radio show topic. The topic that I want to talk to you all about is create the person that you want to be. Let me say that and repeat it for the ones in the back. Create the person that you want to be or to become. Because if we can be honest, and I need you guys to share this on all my social media platforms, I need you to share this information. Why am I asking you to share it? Because there might be somebody out here that might be struggling. They could be struggling with being able to, work on themselves, but they don't know who they are, right? And they're trying to find who they are, but a lot of you know who you are, but you know that there's another level in you. And this is something that you have to go for, and this is what you have to work on continuously. So the topic is create the person that you want to be, and I need you guys to share it. So let's jump in. So becoming someone different is difficult. Let me say that again. Becoming someone different is difficult to do, but that doesn't mean that it can't happen or it'll never happen. This is something that, and I'll get into a transparent moment later on in our show, but becoming that person that you want to become, or becoming that person that you need to be. Let's switch it up a little bit. Become the person that you need to become is difficult. It's difficult because you are so used to being a certain way, acting a certain way, moving a certain way, thinking a certain way, responding a certain way, right? So I want to ask you a question. Are you making decisions to thrive, or are you making decisions to live in comfortability? Let me ask you that again. Are you making decisions to thrive, to become that new person that you need to be? Or are you so comfortable being where you are in your comfortability? If we can be honest, a lot of us are. A lot of us are very comfortable, and I used to be the same way. I used to be very comfortable where I was. Because if I can be honest, I was comfortable because I seen all my counterparts. I seen all the people that I was hanging out with. They were comfortable. But there was just a few that really caught my eye that really wanted something different out of their lives. And I said, wow, they had to change who they were to become the person they need to be so they can do the things that they were called and chosen to be, which is their purpose. And all of you, whether you believe it or not, all of you have a purpose. I'll say that again. All of you have a purpose, but it sometimes can be tough when you are so comfortable where you are. But we also have to consider the following. Are you tired of who you've been your whole life? That's the question that I want to pose to you. Have you been tired? Are you tired? Are you tired of being who you've been your whole life and you never made a transformation? You've never made a change. Now, you might be saying, well, I'm working on that DMP Speaks. So let me give you something else. Let me ask you another question. What would be some of the benefits of you creating this new person, becoming that new person that you need to be? Right? Think about that. You don't have to put that out if you want to, but it's a rhetorical question. What are the benefits of creating? What's really going to hinder you from being that person? What is the worst thing is going to happen if you become this new person that you need to be? If you start thinking differently, if you start acting differently. And I'm not just talking about looking differently on the outside. I'm talking about being different internally in your mindset. Change really comes in your mindset. Change comes in your heart. Change comes from your actions and your reactions. That's where change comes from. What adversities will you face when you change? Because there's always something tempting you to go back to your normalcy and your mediocrity. Let's be honest, there were certain things that were pulling me back over and over to be comfortable. Sometimes we are too comfortable in our own skin. We are too comfortable where we are, but we are looking for more. We're looking to do greater, but we don't do greater because we haven't changed. We keep hanging around the same people, talking about the same thing, talking about everybody hating on them, everybody doing this. Well, there's more to life than people just hating on you. What movements are you making? I know this is tough today, but I'm back, y'all. And I had some time to really think. You need to create this person that you need to become because nobody else is going to do it for you. There's always some kind of element pulling us back to our norm. And the reason why I'm taking my time with this afternoon is because some of you out here want to change. You want to stop drinking. You want to stop smoking. You want to stop running around with this woman and that woman. You want to stop running around with that guy and that guy. Some of you want to go back to school. Some of you want to finish school. See how I did that? Want to go back to school and want to finish school? Some of you are on the brink, but you stopped because you worried about your boys because they're not doing the same thing you doing. Listen, you got to let that thing go because you're wasting time that you can't get back. So now you can only focus on the time that you have left. No matter how old you are, there's a certain amount of time we all have. And I'm gonna be honest, sis, bro, I ain't got no time to be going back. I ain't got no time to be wasting no more. Let me give you something else. You might have to think about the people that are closest to you, your family, your friends, and they might or might not be ready for you to change because they haven't changed yet. Ooh, they haven't changed yet because they're comfortable and they want you to be comfortable in your own comfortability. But it's time for us to change now. It's time for us to make a change. It's time for us to make a change. It's time for us to make some adjustments. How comfortable are you going to continue to be for the next 2, 3, 5 years? And listening to what they're saying, oh, you ain't got to do that, bro. You ain't got to work that hard. You don't have to dream like that. I mean, can we be honest? Y'all don't even see what I see. The owner of this radio station stopped dreaming. He had a vision. And he took that vision, he ran with it. And guess what, everybody? You hear that sound? That's the sound of vision being able to touch it. So he got tired of talking about, excuse me, he got tired of talking about it, and he did something with it. When are we going to do that? Aren't we tired of talking? Aren't we tired of just talking to each other and not making no movements? Listen, I got tired. I got tired of just talking about it. You got to make a decision that's going to not only affect you right now, but for your future. This is the decision that you got to make for yourself every day. I'm going to be the best version that I need to be for me and my family. So what I'm doing with my business and what I'm doing in ministry and what I'm doing in other things, I'm not just doing it for myself. My son is pushing me to become this man that I need to be, this leader that I need to be. My wife, any other children that we have, my niece, my mom, my other family members, they're pushing me. They're not verbally saying this, but I look at what's in front of me. I look at my mom in her elderly stage. I look at her transition from losing my mom, losing her husband, and losing her daughter. She's in a different mind space now. I look at my niece. She doesn't need the old uncle that she had before. She needs a different kind of uncle to help her and lead and guide her to her purpose. Not mine for her, but for her purpose. Why am I saying all this? Why am I being transparent? Why am I so passionate? Because sometimes we make too many excuses because our friends didn't go with us. Sometimes maybe your friends can't go with you because this is where you're supposed to be going. Does that make sense? I hope this makes sense. You got to choose to become this person destined to be who the Creator has called you to be. The Creator, God, Jesus, however you want to call him, the higher power, I call him my Savior. He has designed particular things for you to do, but you cannot keep blaming everybody else because you haven't done it yet. Let's stop pointing the finger at everybody else, and we got to start pointing the finger back at us and saying, what are we doing? What are we doing to make some changes? What are we doing to make some adjustments? What are we doing? How are we thinking? How are we saving our money? I can say so much, but I won't go there. But I'll go there a little bit. I'll go there a little bit, Frank. We spend so much money on clothing and sneakers and shoes, and we have no money for entrepreneurship or start businesses or buy homes. I used to be like that. I had to get the Jordans. You hear what I said? I say it again. I felt like I had to get them. I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with Jordans, but if they're going to take money out of your children's mouth and the light's not going to be on, well, then does that make sense? I know this is hard today, but we can no longer live in normalcy. Do you see what's going on around us? Do you see that our kids are suffering? People are going into grocery stores and shooting. We're still dealing with that here in Western New York. The camera guys and CNN are gone. People are still dealing with that. So my message had to change. I just got done talking to some young people at the church that I ministered to before I came here. I had to spend about 15, 20 minutes just talking to them. I'm not getting a check for that because guess what? I don't need one. Because God is going to give me what I need. Why am I saying all this? I'm becoming the person that I need to become, because there are people out here that are suffering. There are families that are suffering. There are families that are suffering. There are parents that are suffering. There are children that are suffering. There is a purpose that you must fulfill. So this is my transformation moment. I had to make a transformation for myself. I literally had to change who I was. because I was so stuck in being who other people wanted me to be. But you know what I had to do? I had to start looking at myself and saying, okay, I can either stay in Syracuse, New York, 315, stand up, and do the same thing like everybody else. Stay here, complain about this. There's no jobs, there's no opportunities, and that's right to a certain point. Or you can go somewhere else that you really don't know a lot of people. Your mom and daddy not there, your sister's not there, and you got to grow up. You got to start making some hard decisions. Guess what, everybody? That's exactly what I did. When I left January the 11th, 2012, I never moved back. What's the day? April the 15th, 2023. I never moved back, y'all. And it was hard because I used to make so many excuses for myself. I used to feel sorry for myself. Woe is David. Woe is DMP Speaks. I'm dealing with this situation. I'm dealing with that situation. But you know what? I had to take time out. I had to stop making time to complain, and I had to start making time to pray. I had to make some hard decisions for myself. Not when I got married, not when I started dating my wife, not when I became a father. I had to make some changes for myself before I could take care of anybody. I had to make some decisions for myself. And they always didn't go all the way like it was supposed to be. Many of my friends were comfortable, but I got tired of being uncomfortable. I mean, comfortable. I wanted to be uncomfortable. I wanted to challenge myself. And you can do the same thing. But when is it going to be enough? When are you going to make that choice to say, who I used to be, who I am now is not good enough? You're a great person. You got good morals, right? You got some good things going on. But to be that person that you need to be for that particular level that you need to be on, so that your family is affected in a positive way, in a great way. Finances, mentality, resources, right? That's what we need. There's a change that we need to make. And because I made that change, I was ready to create and envision the person that I need to be and need to become, so that I'm helping the families that I'm helping now because I had to make that change. I'm changing people's lives because I made a personal change for myself. And at the end of the day, that's what counts, everybody. That's what counts. So what I want to do really quick, I want to give you about 3 to 4 tips. Something I not tried and it didn't work. Something that I did that worked for me. And I hope that this will work for you. It's just 4 tips and then we're done. Tip number 1 is I stopped putting time and effort into what other people were saying about me. Let that sink in for a moment. Stop putting time and effort into what people say about you. We take so much inventory of our lives and our mental capacity to listen to what other people have to say when they pay no bill in your house. They were not there when you were sick, as they say in the church, sick and afflicted, when you were dealing with mental anguish and woes. They weren't there when you had to go through what you had to go through. They weren't there. So why put time and effort for people that's not going on your journey? You got to stop worrying about what other people say and put your time and effort to people that really love you, really care about you, and want to see you succeed. And even if you don't have anybody, what about yourself? Believe in yourself. Stop worrying about the naysayers. because the naysayers are doing their job. Are you? Are you doing your job? What's your job? To be better than you were yesterday. So you don't got time to worry about who's talking about you and what's going on down the street. Are you taking care of your home base? You got the home advantage. I remember Eric Thomas, E.T., the hip hop preacher. I listened to him quite a bit. He was talking about you got to create a home advantage, just like a sports team. What's your home advantage? Your support system. Even if it's two people, your support system. Whoever that is, if it's the church, if it's the community, if it's a older friend, whoever, your mama, whoever it is. But stop putting your time and effort to people and what they say about you. Because those people are not going where you're going. They're going somewhere else. They're going to take care of what they got to take care of. You got to be focused on yourself. You got to be focused on where you're going. Because if you're not focused on where you're going, you're going to be stagnant. And you don't have no time for no stagnation. I know this is heavy this afternoon, but I gotta just be myself because I really want to help you and your family become the best versions that y'all can be. Tip 2, almost done. I made a decision and I stuck with it. I'll say it again. Tip 2, I made a decision and I stuck with it and I did it for myself. It sounds selfish because sometimes you gotta be a little selfish. Sometimes we always saying that being selfish is a bad thing. Not all the time. When it has to do with your future, when it has to do with your development, sometimes you got to be a little selfish because it's about you. It's about you growing. You got to make that decision every single day that you're not going to quit. You got to make that decision every single day that I'm not going to let anybody or anything stop me from reaching my purpose. Or stop me from reaching my potential, or stop me from being or becoming the person that I need to be. You got to choose yourself every single day. You and your family, if that's your situation, you got to choose y'all every single day, whether somebody agrees to it or not. But this is your decision. Nobody can make the decision for you but you. Y'all hear what I'm saying? I'm just loving on y'all today, but I gotta give you this word, because who's going to tell you if you're not getting this every day? Who's going to tell you? I'm your brother. I'm your brother. I'm your little brother. However you look at me, I'm here to help you, but you gotta make a decision. You gotta make a decision, y'all. I'm pleading with y'all. Please make a decision for yourself and stick with it. Tip 3. I had to look at my older self, and I wanted to make my older self happy with the decision that I made now. We all getting older. Your older self, I remember Bishop T.D. Jakes said that your older self is counting on you to make the right decisions today. You got to make the right decisions today so your future self, your older self, will be happy, will be satisfied, will be content, will have strength. Because none of us are our age and we're going backwards. We're going forward. So if you're not making the decision for yourself and your family that's going to put y'all in a better place now, time doesn't wait for no one. It keeps moving. And because it keeps moving, you got to keep moving. And your older self, your future self, needs to be able to count on yourself now, your present day self. You hear what I'm saying? You got to work hard so that when you get to 60, 70, 80, you won't be saying, I wish I would have did this. I wish I would have tried this. Even if it doesn't work, at least you tried. At least you put the effort in. And if that doesn't work, there's got to be something else, because everybody has a purpose and we have to be able to work towards that. Tip 4, and then I'm going to let you go. Okay, y'all ready for it? Last one, the tip 4. My purpose forced me to change. That's the last thing I'm going to talk about today, and I'm going to let you go. When I found out what my purpose was, I found out what I was supposed to do. I'm trying to get attacked by this spider. When I found out what my purpose was, it forced me to change. See, when you find out what you were put on this earth to do, when things that bother you and it just doesn't bother other people, but it bothers you so much, and you know you got to have your hand in it for it to change, it's going to force you to become a new person. Y'all hear what I'm saying? Because of my purpose, working with families, working with individuals, doing the things that I'm doing now, it forced me, because I could no longer be the quiet David. I could no longer be the mediocre David. I had to be the best version that I needed to be. And this is something that you can do, but you got to take these tips and you got to be able to apply. You got to do them. You got to be able to do them. So I'm done. I'm gonna close my iPad, Frank, and I'm done. I'm saying to you all, and I'm looking into the camera, all the cameras that's on me right now. I need you to know you need to create the person that you need to be, but it's going to take you some time, because it's the decision that you have to make for yourself. You hear what I'm saying? I'm looking into this camera because I'm looking right at you. You know you need to change. You know you've been wanting to change for a while, to make these steps, and you just haven't done it because you feel like it's too late. Sis, it's never too late. Bruh, it's never too late. You just got to make a change now. All you got to do is just take a couple steps, and say, instead of me going here, I'm going to focus on my purpose. Well, before you focus on your purpose, let me find out what my purpose is. Let me find out what that thing is, because I believe in y'all. I believe that you can do it. And if you need help with this, and you're interested in my life coaching, or if it's a family, you guys need some change. You're tired of things how they are in the household, and you want a better communication. You want to have a better relationship with your child or children, or your godchildren or grandchildren, and you need services. Let my programs help you. And if you're interested, please go to my social media pages, all of my social media pages, and click on the link. And when you get to that particular link, you can either sign up for individual counseling, or you can sign up for family counseling. I do both. And the reason why I do both, because I was graced to do both by our Creator, God above. I love you all. Catch me next week. It's going to be a fire time. Speak Out Loud Radio. I'm out. This is DMP Speaks coming to you. I am a board certified Christian counselor. I'm also a life coach. I am a family restoration specialist. I help build, rebuild, and grow your family. Maybe you're having some communication problems. Maybe you guys are just yelling and screaming, and you guys are just not getting along. And if you want access to me for your 30-minute consultation call, follow me on all my social media platforms. TikTok, Facebook at DMP Speaks. And if you go to YouTube and Instagram, it's at I am DMP Speaks. Download Fire 716 and click the link.